Hello my dear stitchy friends, my name is Marie and this is Flosstube number 9. It is Monday 27th of June here in the town of Barry in lovely South Wales in the UK, and I am so happy to have you here. If you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about cross-stitching, but I occasionally go on tantrums, for which my lovely subscribers graciously forgive me. So enter at your own peril, I would say. And if you're returning, thank you ever so much for your support and your lovely comments, and just for being on this wonderful journey with me. Today's episode is all about the Mid-Year WIP Parade. I'm going to show you everything that has happened up to date, all of my active WIPs. I can't believe the number that I've gone up to, honestly. You're gonna hear all about it in just a second. But before we do that, I'm going to announce previous episodes giveaways. We had 4 in total. And I am so happy to be announcing the winners of these, honestly. So as I said, the cutoff for giveaways was yesterday midday GMT, Sunday 26th, and the prizes were as follows. It was the Rebellious t-shirt, Rebellious Hope t-shirt from Boho Babe, the Dame Deborah chains. Then we had the Platinum Jubilee needle minder, the Lakeside needlecraft in the UK. It's sort of form of celebration of the fantastic Jubilee that we've just lived through. The Beatles Protect bag from Molly Klein Design, my wonderful amazing friend who makes absolutely gorgeous project bags, and the fox, the unclaimed fox that I am very happy to say people were interested in getting this pattern. So who won it? Let's look at the Rebellious t-shirt first. Rebellious Hope t-shirt. Keyword was rebellious for this. I have put it in, as usual, in the random sort of comment picker, and the winner of this is my lovely friend Bookish Pixie Stitches. So let me know your address, or if you want, I'm sure we're gonna meet up at one of the Cardiff Stitches meetups, so we can, you know, I can give it to you there as well, whichever you prefer. How quickly do you want it? So many congratulations. I am so excited to be giving this away to you. The second prize was Platinum Jubilee needle minder. The keyword was quite naturally Queen, and the winner is, drum roll, Noreen Kennedy. Noreen, many congratulations. Please contact me on my email address, stitchesanddiamonds@outlook.com. It's also in the description below. And you've also won an award for best giveaway sentence. I'm gonna read it to you guys. It says, "The rebellious queen fox eats beetles for tea." It really made me chuckle. So thank you so much for entering in this giveaway, and this needle minder will be on your way, on its way to you the minute I get your address. Then the Beatles project bag, and the keyword for this was Beatles, and I am excited to you know, to send it to all of my viewers. Of course, I'm so excited. I love giving things to people, but this one is a little bit sort of special because it goes to my lovely friend, drumroll, Emily Hills. I mean, Emily has been my friend on Instagram for a very long time. We have been chatting, you know, I would definitely go as far as to call us friends. I'm sure that had we lived in the same town, we would have been meeting up regularly. And I am so excited to be sending this your way, Emily. I don't need your address. Congratulations. And the fox, the last one, is this little handsome guy, and the winner of the fox is Claire Lawrence. Congratulations, Claire. I am so excited to be giving Mr. Fox this new home, that you are the one who's going to be taking care of him and stitching him. I'm really excited about that. So please do share your address with me via email. That's the best way to go about it. As I said, it's stitchesanddiamonds@outlook.com. It's also in the description below, and the minute I get it, I am going to send this your way. So many congratulations. I will be so excited to be posting these ASAP. So now that this exciting bit is over, I think it's time to go on the WIP parade. I am going to try and keep it on point, because it is 6:30 on Monday evening. I have been in the office today, and it's been a long hard day. I will try not to make too many bloopers because my brain is tired, and I shall also try not to waffle on, which, you know, I do quite often. So I have tried to sort of divide my WIPs into sections, but you know, it's sort of, at one point it just becomes madness, so just bear with me. The first part of my WIPs being dimensions. I've got a number of dimensions kits. I still love dimensions, even though I stitch, you know, my new starts are of a different genre, more sort of samplery and on, you know, high count linen and things like that. But I am really drawn towards dimensions still. I love my WIPs, and I am definitely going to be starting more in the future. But I think I'm gonna have to start sort of, you know, closing the slots and opening it only after I've finished something. So the first dimensions WIP I've got to show you is this Japanese garden. It was my first ever cross stitch project after I have restarted my cross stitching journey. I cross stitched as a child, and, you know, 2020, as everybody, started getting to me, so I went on Amazon and I found this beautiful chart, which I absolutely love and adore, and I am very far away from finishing it. But, you know, it's not a race, is it? It's not a race. It will come along so nicely. Now, the second dimensions WIP that I've got, I think, was actually the second WIP I have ever started, potentially. Can't remember anymore. And it is this Holiday Village, also absolutely lovely. I just love these colors, and all that backstitch in there. It's a pain to do, but it just looks so nice. This is how far I've got. You know, let's be honest, not very far. It is this bit. It's a bit of a boring corner that I've picked, to be honest. But I'll be out. I'll be out soon, and it will start getting a little bit more interesting soon. It might be one of my July goals, actually, for Jolly July. I'll have to have a think about that. The next is, you know, I'm a bit ashamed to show it here, because I was absolutely, you know, swearing and promising that this will be finished in May. I think I was planning on finishing it. It's just absolutely not happened. So this was my WIP. This is where I'm at. It's almost done. It's the Christmas Village ornaments, by the way. It's literally the last push, and it looks absolutely fantastic with all the backstitch. I just love the detail that Dimensions design sort of achieve with the backstitch. Is just absolutely gorgeous for being such a small, tiny sort of design. Look at that. Yeah, definitely a July goal. Definitely a July goal. And so is this. So this is the Snowglobe Love. And this is where I am. It's literally, again, just backstitch missing around Mr. Santa Claus and the love word that needs to be backstitched. And that's going to be it. So yeah, so these will definitely form a part of my July plans. They are also so close to finish that, you know, they have moved on the very, very top of my priority list, because they will be quick wins and I will be able to reduce that WIP pile a little bit, which would be fantastic. For anybody interested, I am always buying all my Dimensions kits on Amazon here in the UK. They often get such great deals. Amazon is selling them directly. It's not a third party. So you get really great deals. And also, I don't know if everybody knows it, but you can contact Dimensions directly, and if you show them your Amazon invoice that you have purchased your kit, and you also send them a picture of your kit, they are going to send you a PDF of the chart. It's not like it's pattern keeper friendly, but I put it on my iPad, and I've got the pencil, and I cross it off in like a, you know, in the markup in like a PDF format. I sort of prefer it a little bit more to paper on this like big full coverage, because I can zoom in, I can yeah, it's just something that I prefer electronically in these specific types of patterns. So just in case you didn't know, you can get an electronic a PDF chart for your Dimensions. The next two WIPs are what I call magazine WIPs. I have started this CrossStitcher Magazine 3-part summer postcard. I still have not finished the French lavender fields. And there's also Greece, and there's the poppy fields, which I believe was meant to be England. And you know, I still want to finish it. It looks lovely, and I think that this sort of the coming summer months are going to be the perfect opportunity to pick this up again. I am a subscriber of the I think it was, yeah, CrossStitcher Magazine. I have noted I found out the numbers of the sorry, I'm really tired after work, of the issues where this was released. So it's all in the description below. I have forgotten to mention everything that I'm going to be showing here. Whenever I got it online, or whenever it's available online, or, you know, whichever way, I am putting links to all of the patterns below. And if not, then I mentioned it's you know, sort of your local LNS or 123 Stitch, or sort of, you know, a needle shop purchase. So what did I want to say? Right, so I have included the magazines below, and this is how the design is going to look like when it's finished. And what I wanted to say was that I am stitching this from the little kits that came with the magazine. So I'm going to have this has got beads, and the two other designs have got sort of charms within that kit, so it's going to be really nice. And the second magazine stitching is Mad Hatter's Tea Party. To show you it the correct way. There we go. This is stitched on 16 count Aida, whichever way you want to say it. 16 count Aida, easy count, and I'm showing it to you upside down. This is how it belongs. So this is the caterpillar, and there's the tree, and this is the little house, and this is the mushroom and whatever. It's quite a nice design. Sort of further down, I'm gonna try to post a picture here. Further down, I'm not sort of a fan of Alice's backstitching. I just find her really creepy. So I'm going to have to find out. I think I'm going to try to reach out it a little bit so that she looks, you know, like friendly and nice. I don't know, is it just me? She looks a bit creepy. And I just wanted to say I'm not a fan of easy count, because I get so confused as to, you know, where do I start, where do I finish, where is the beginning of the 10, where is the end of the 10. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I get myself really confused, and it's not helping me, it's hindering me. So I have to constantly recount, am I in the right place? I don't know, my brain just works that way, or doesn't work. I'm also putting the CrossStitcher magazine issues down below. It was released in 3 parts last year. Now on to another part of my WIPs, and that's Modern Folk Embroidery, the amazing Jacob de Graaf. I bought all of these via his website, modernfolkembroidery.com, and I have a lot more in my stash than I have started, I can tell you that much, and a lot more on my wish list even. So if you've ever stitched Jacob, if you've ever heard of Jacob, I'm sure you must love his designs too. And so let's show you what are my current active WIPs. So of course the mandatory, the one and only Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along 2021, the Fruits of Plenty. I am loving, absolutely adoring this. I have already said that I sort of tend to stitch on this when I'm at my parents' place. It sort of just so happened. So it is like a significant piece to me. So the first one, I think I started when I got my first jab, or a second jab. So it was like this really hopeful, you know, feeling. It was June 2021. Then this one I stitched on in August 2021 when I saw my parents after a year. After a year I saw them. I went to visit them. It was just beautiful. And my mum absolutely fell in love with this. She, you know, she's constantly asking about an update, and she loves this. If I can bear to part with it, I might give it to her even, but I don't know. This was stitched in November when I saw my parents the second time in 2021, and I was meant to stitch April. This is January, February, March. I was meant to stitch April in April when we were meant to visit them after Easter. Unfortunately, our lovely pupster Luna was very poorly. It was a very serious condition. She had to have an emergency surgery, and we've had to cancel our trip. So I didn't start stitching on it because I'm sort of keeping it. We are going to be visiting my parents for almost 2 weeks in September. So there's going to be a lot of stitching on this in September. Let's see if I sort of stitch on it outside of visiting my parents. But I sort of feel like a lot of people, when they finish this, they sort of regret a little bit that it's finished. And I feel like I'm stitching my memories in this, so I don't have to rush it. I don't have to rush for this just for the sake of rushing. I can savor this project and I can enjoy it, and I can stitch all my lovely memories in it, and cherish it that much more. So that's the Fruits of Plenty. Then I, of course, absolutely had to start Engeltje Tjakkes. I'm really sorry for butchering it, which is the 2022 stitch along that I have decided to stitch in two colorways, black and red, and it is in sulky threads. I'm stitching this on 32 count Bristol. It was a flax color, sort of the natural color, but I have over dyed it in tea, in a tea bath. And it was very, very soon after I have started this, maybe a month or month and a half, where I've discovered 40 count vintage country mocha, and I absolutely fell in love with 40 count and stitching 1/2. And I sort of keep on thinking, should I restart this? Should I, is this nice? Should I continue? Or, because it's just 2 months, I've only done, what am I doing? I can't see what I'm showing you. It's just January and February, so I'm thinking, should I restart? Yeah, and I'm not sure why. I'm probably not a fan of how it came out with the tea dye. I didn't even research it. I just dunk it into a lot of water with a lot of tea bags, and just left it there for like an hour. And yeah, it doesn't have any mottling. It's, it just, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I would really appreciate it, because I'm extremely indecisive with this. If I do decide to restart it, I don't think it's ugly or anything, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's ugly. It just, I think it would look better, and I would love it a little bit more if it was on higher count. That's all. And with one, yeah, doesn't matter. If I do decide to restart it, what I really loved, I saw on Stitchman Darcy, on his channel, that he did the same, or they did the same, because they do it, they stitch on it both, him and his wife, which is amazing. He is passing it on. He is passing the whip onto a stitcher who would like to, continue stitching it. So that might be something I would do as well if I decide to restart. Let's see. My third whip from Jacob is Birds from Bernhard's books. It's going to be absolutely lovely. I'm going to post a picture in here, and it is a charity whip. Can't find my words, I'm really sorry. It is organized by Carolyn at Evertoads and her husband, who is running a marathon, New York City Marathon, in memory of his mum, who passed away from following a brain aneurysm. And this, I think it still is 50% of this of purchases of this pattern go towards the fundraiser for Brain Aneurysm Foundation. I'm glad I managed to say all of this. So yeah, so that's as far as I got. And then last Modern Folk Embroidery WIP is the Move Forward in Love. And I am terribly happy to say that my start is no longer underwhelming. I have got a proper move on this week. I am so happy with what I've been able to achieve. I think I've stitched close to 2,000 stitches on this. I am so happy with it. Last time I shown it, it was just like this, which really was quite underwhelming. But yeah, I am very chuffed with my progress right now, and I can see so many people posting such lovely pictures on Instagram of their progress, and it really motivates me to push forward. So it's definitely on top of my WIP pile as well. And now let's move on to full coverage sort of portion of the program. So this is my Heaven and Earth designs. I know it's not much, it's about 1%, only 1% done. I started from the middle, and this is the She Sleeps from Stephanie Puimanlaw. I have been neglecting this WIP, and I need to set myself some sort of hate target weekly, or just something small, just so that I can see some sort of progress that would motivate me to progress it further. Anything flowers, I just love it. So I really love the design. I definitely want to sort of push on with stitching it, and I'm stitching it over one on a 25 count, 1 strand, full cross. It has taken me literally probably about 9 or 10 months to decide what I'm gonna do, and I still keep on looking and saying, well, I should have done, you know, half a stitch, 2 strand, or maybe I should have gone on 28 count full cross, or, you know, I just am very undecisive in this, but I am, you know, I am quite happy with the coverage. I think it's going to turn out okay. I'm pretty happy with it. And I made a needle minder that is going to match sort of the, you know, I like the colours, and it's flowers. So that was the Heaven and Earth designs, and the second sort of full coverage is the Charles Bridge by Katarina Bespastova. She is a Ukrainian designer, and it's, you know, I'm stitching on Charles Bridge because I'm from Czech Republic, and Laura at Laura Ger to the Moon and Back has called a stitch along, and I think it was last year, and she has called the cross-stitching Europe all around the world SAL. Pretty sure it was that, and it was just that she didn't call for a specific pattern. It was just a, you know, European city. I think she's stitching Milano from Michael Powell or Florence. I am not sure right now. But she picked up a lovely piece and lots of backstitching, and it just looks absolutely amazing. And this will have a lot of backstitching on it as well, and it is going to look fantastic. I'm going to post the finished picture here, and again in the description below, Katarina Bespastova is on Etsy. I was helped by Sarah at Sew Me Sarah, because I originally bought this via Lola Lota shop, something like that, and they have closed on Etsy. I'm not sure. I hope it wasn't because they were stealing other people's work and selling it or something. Which unfortunately does happen in our cross-stitching world, doesn't it? So Katarina is now selling her work through, I forgot, but it is in the description below. It is one of those accounts that give a lot of designers a platform. It is a big Etsy shop, and they have sort of an agreement, and they sell the patterns on behalf of the designer. So if you want to stitch Prague, feel free to join me. That would be lovely. And there's a lot of half stitch, by the way, so it stitches quite quickly, to be honest. And now it's time to move on the caterpillar cross stitch category of my WIP Parade. I have bought all of these via Caterpillar Cross Stitch website. Apart from Touch of Magic, full disclaimer, I was given it as part of my working with them as their YouTube presenter right now, which I'm still excited about. I'm just too exhausted to you know. So let me show you my 3 Caterpillar Cross Stitch WIPs that I've got currently going. All of these WIPs are part of Sally's mystery stitch alongs. The first one is a lucky Nutcracker. I started this before Christmas. I never managed to really finish, so I am trying to finish this in bits and bobs. Definitely also a candidate for Jolly July stitching, because I'm only missing sort of the clock and I forgot who's the character, and then the bits and bobs around, and it's really going to be finished. So yeah, I think I've got most of the stitching done on this. It is just a 16 count Ada. I am completely forgetting to tell you on what counts am I stitching, probably. But this is a 16 count Ada, and it stitches so easily. I'm stitching this in hand, and just trying to do maybe a 30-minute a day challenge for a week or something, and you know, to see a good progress on it. My goal is definitely to have it ready for this year's Christmas, and maybe do some nice creative finishing. We'll see. Then I do have this How Does Your Garden Grow, and I have never sort of progressed past the first part, and you know, the last part has been just released, and I don't even have this. I don't even have I haven't gone past the first one. What I did with this is that I wanted to try 20 count Aida, which, you know, I did, but I continued to stitch with 2 strands, which I don't think I would do again. I'm trying to see if it focuses. I mean, it's not, I guess it's not like terribly cramped. It could be worse, but it wasn't a good idea. I don't think it was a good idea at all. I'm very lucky that this is not a full coverage, because I can see how people would get into real trouble doing this full coverage, and I'm worried because there's like these puddles and the wellies, and also the gnome, that are a lot of sort of stitching in one, sort of concentrated in one spot, and I'm worried that the two strands are gonna sort of create this, you know, not very nice structure or something. So I mean, we live, we learn. That's fine. I might sort of you know, stitch on it here and there and finish it as I went. Sorry about the glare. Finish it as and when. And then we've got the Touch of Magic. A new part has been just released as well, I think last Friday or something, so I will need to get a move on with this as well. It's just a 14 count Ada, again stitching in hand, really quick stitch. Happy days. Right, so that was my 15th WIP. We're almost midway there. So on to sort of various bit of like what I would call a modern designs. So this is the Friends Make Life a Little Sweeter. It's by Stitchrovia. It's absolutely gorgeous and lovely. I really enjoy stitching this. It's on 16 count Aida, and it was from Cotton and Twine subscription box. So unfortunately it's not available for purchase. But Emma Congdon Stitchrovia often releases her, you know, her patterns, like the ones, for example, that are in the magazines. It all depends on what the agreement was when she was selling her design, isn't it? So potentially, you never know, maybe she is going to release this in sometime in the future. It's a really lovely design. Also high on my whip pile because it's a quick win. I'm only missing these two corners flowers, and there's sort of one more bird, and then a little bit of back stitching, and that's it. So definitely have to finish that. Then I've got this sort of little start. It's also from Cotton and Twine subscription box. It was by Tiny Modernist, and this is my start. It was this little sort of squirrel biscornu, and I remember one afternoon about 3 or 4 months ago, I just thought, well, I'd like to stitch something, and then I started doing this, and I even left the needle in there. I never even, you know, yeah, random, very random. We'll have to start stitching on this again soon. Next on the list is, or on the pile, is the Narnia, the Chronicles of Narnia by the Stitching Book Club. This was a mystery stitch along released by her. I'm really sorry, I can't remember her name. I just know she's a Stitching Book Club on Instagram, and she's done many amazing stitch alongs before, sort of stitch club, book club stitch alongs, like Little Women and Jane Austen, I think, Pride and Prejudice and things like that. And I was really keen on taking part in this one, but like many I've heard before me, I am not sure I'm entirely enjoying this one. The reason for it being that it's challenging. There's a lot of changeovers. There's a lot of sort of single stitches. You know, I'm running this behind, and I have chosen like this really. This is a 28 count fabric flare. It's a sparkly one, and you can really see anything that's sort of when I carry thread on the back, you can really see it. So I have put it on a little bit of a timeout. I also have a broken stitch here. I don't know how that happened. Sorry about my nails, by the way. It was either Flosstube or nails, so I chose Flosstube. Yeah, so I guess I just have to fall back in love with it, I suppose. I do like it. I do want to finish it. This is no way I'm going to UFO this. I'm absolutely finishing it. It is going to go next to our future sort of living room library, and it's definitely going to be, you know, a cherished piece. I just sort of stitch on different things at this very moment, but it is going to be beautiful. I just wish sort of on the video the colors pop a little bit more than in person. I just maybe what I prefer if it was a little bit more pop, the colors, but no, it's pretty. I'm going to restart it. The next one is my absolutely beloved Christmas Mousse by Panna. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. He's this little bloke. He's so cute, such a naughty little look, and I love the antlers. Look at that. Look at that. Also one of the candidates for Jolly July. I don't know how I'm gonna stitch on 20 whips in July, but apparently that's my plan. I also forgot to say about the Narnia whip that it is no longer available because it's Narnia. It was very limited amount of licenses that the designer had available, and they were sold out within a week or something. So that's no longer available for purchase, but I would encourage you to go on her Etsy. I've linked it down below, and she's got Great Gatsby and Little Women and Pride and Prejudice, and I think Sense and Sensibility. There's some lovely pieces she's got. So if you're into books and stitching, then this might be your vibe. And the Mousse I have bought on mybobbin.com, and I've actually they are a Russian company, and I have recently contacted them, and they said that I think they are based somewhere in Hong Kong actually, so they are not affected by the current situation, and unless something has changed, they are, you know, processing payments and shipping as usual. So check them out should you want to, and they are very responsive on their Instagram account as well. And the last whip in this section is the absolute bane of my life. This is the Christmas Boho Rainbow. I really love this design. Okay, I want to say I really love this design. I'm going to put a picture in here. I was approached by Rena from Rena Stitches, Rena Stitch, she's called on Etsy, or Silk Stitches Patterns on Instagram, and she said, you know, would you like a free pattern in exchange for mentioning me on your Instagram? It was sometime last year, so I was like, yeah, absolutely, that's fine. And I chose this this design, so this was gifted to me, unfortunately. So the called for golden thread in here is one of the Mulan, I think it is Mulan, from DMC, and it metallic thread, and it is a blend of a metallic thread and a golden, just normal stranded cotton. And I have chosen, absolutely voluntarily chosen, to stitch it on, I think this is 36 count, just plain white even weave, instead of the called for 14 count Aida. And it's just an absolute nightmare. It's just an absolute nightmare. Normally I would stitch with a 50 centimeter length, and this I have to cut into quarters. I can do maybe 10 stitches with my length. Then I have to finish the thread. It's frayed beyond belief. It is just it is not enjoyable. Sorry about the puppy sounds. It is not enjoyable at all. So I want to persevere with it. I want to have this displayed. I will love it when it's finished. I just need to get past this one sort of piece of rainbow, and then there's only stranded cotton, and it will be a quick stitch. It will be perfect. But I'm halfway there. Halfway there I am. If you want to stitch this design, I sort of recommend looking at other threads if you want to stitch this on high count. Yep. we live, we learn. I've said that already. The next section, that will be WIP number 21 and 22, are the lovely, amazing, beautiful, gorgeous cottage garden samplings. So let me show you. WIP number 21, the Have Courage from the Songbirds Garden series. It was a number 8. It is the rose-breasted grosbeak and gladiolus. I just absolutely love this design. I'm really just besotted with it. I am stitching this on 40 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. I often rave about this particular linen and in general about Fox and Rabbit, and I will do it yet again because it is just absolutely superb, and I think that the colors look absolutely amazing on it. The called for linen is a putty from Weeks Dye Works, and I am really glad that I didn't get hold of it. I couldn't find it available, and I have subsequently bought 2 or 3 Weeks Dye Works linens, and I was really disappointed with the quality. It was really fluffy. Fox and Rabbit linens are really much nicer, much nicer. So this is my progress so far. I haven't worked on it last week, but I have this is one of the WIPs that I put into my rotation very often because I love it. The next WIP is my recent start. This is Mr. Fox that you've already seen today. He's from the Year in the Woods series, which is this year's release. Again, every month, every year for the past, I don't know how many years, Cottage Garden Samplings are releasing a new pattern, and I love them all. I love them all. This is stitched on 40 count, and because I couldn't get hold of the called for, I think it was Mirage, picture this plus Mirage linen, yes, I hand dyed it by myself for the first time. I am really chuffed with the result. And I am stitching this as part of the Year in the Woods SAL. There is a normal Year in the Woods SAL, going from January to December. A lot of people are stitching it and actually keeping up with it. And I was procrastinating, and I was scared of dyeing my own fabric so much that I have successfully procrastinated for half a year, until I saw on Instagram stories of Mel Rouvray, whom I follow on Instagram. She's based in Australia, and she has called this Year in the Woods Southern Hemisphere version of the SAL. So they are starting, the sort of group of stitchers are starting this in July, but I have started a little bit earlier, but I'm not worried that I'm gonna lose the advantage very soon. As you can see, I tend to have a lot of WIPs and not keep up. Sorry, I'm just looking here into my notes. So the next is just sort of a standalone little WIP that is the Owl Forest Embroidery Alice in Wonderland stitch along, which was the free stitch along, I think it was last year, and I have done the first part, and I'm stitching on this with Emily and Sharon, my lovely 2 Instagram friends. But so I love the project, but again, This is the 32 count Bristol hand dyed, sort of tea dyed by me, and I am just not sure I like it. But I mean, I'm really not sure I like it. And I keep on looking at Kyle at Kyle Reichenmeyer's Flosstube, where he finished his on high count and this sort of light light linen, light colored linen, and it was just so beautiful. I have got the variegated threads from All Forest Embroidery because, you know, I got it last year. I could order it last year. I'm not sure we can order it right now for obvious reasons because they're based in Moscow, I think. But I ordered the 32 count version, so I've got so much floss that I could, you know, happily sort of switch to 40 count or 46 count and use one thread, one strand, and I'll be absolutely fine. So what do you think? I am not in love with the color contrast of this, to be quite honest with you. I think I would prefer something different, but I'd like to hear your opinion. What do you think? The stitch along, the pattern is still available free of charge on their website. I have linked it down below, and there is a new free stitch along that is the houseplants, and I have to say it looks really, really nice. I love enabling, you know, you might have noticed. And for anybody who'd love their patterns, they are now available via Etsy. It is a French shop that's called Chouette de Fouette, or however do you pronounce it. And it is basically Owl Forest, isn't it, in translation, but it's some you know, friend of theirs set up an Etsy shop when this sort of all these issues with payments and everything, and the commercial orders were heavily impacted by the situation by Russian invasion. Yeah, so should you want to get some Owl Forest embroidery patterns, they are available on Etsy under this French name, and I'm going to also put a link below should you want to get hold of yours. And I think it is time to move on to the next section of my whips, and that is Teresa Kogut. Teresa Kogut is one of the designers, again, that I own so many patterns of, and I only have 2 whips on the go, but there definitely will be more. I'm part of her Patreon, so I get monthly charts for free. They are one more beautiful than another, yeah, so I'm definitely a big Teresa Kogut fan, and she's just released a mystery sale for patrons, and it is just beyond exciting. I can't get hold of any of the called for threads, for Weeks I Work threads. I don't know why. I can't get hold of any in the UK, so I'm gonna be placing 123 stitch order, and yeah, very, very excited about Teresa Kogut. Should you want to get hold of her designs, it really is very easy via Etsy. She's got a very, very sort of large, huge Etsy shop. So I've linked it down below, but you know, a large part of my designs are from our LNSes, like Patchwork Rabbit, Peakside Needlework, and 123 Stitch, if I haven't said that already. So let me show you the 2 whips I've got on the go. So the first one was the Love is the Key. I fell in love with this pattern the minute I saw it. It was released on the Nashville Nashville market this year. Yes, this year. I'm getting muddled up a bit. And I just love it. I absolutely adore it. I'm stitching it on 40 count Newcastle, I say Newcastle, vintage country mocha. And I just absolutely love it. So Mr. Rabbit is stitched, and I've got so much stitching still to do, and I really need to pick it up again because I haven't stitched on this since maybe April, and I actually miss it. I miss stitching on it, so I shall pick this up very, very soon again. And my second Teresa Kogut whip it was one of my May starts, and that's the Pet All the Dogs. And I was able to do quite a bit on this actually in the week that I was stitching on it. So I think I've literally stopped mid-stitch. But I think it was close to, I don't know, I think it was over 2,000 stitches or something. I was very, very chuffed. I am stitching this on 40 count flannel flowers by Fox and Rabbit, and just like any 40 count, I am always stitching with one strand of floss over two, and I am extremely rarely experimenting with the called for floss, so unless I've mentioned it, it is exactly as called for, which is the case of this pattern. Now let me show you my two Blackbird designs on the go. They were both of them were my Mania starts. Starting with the Strawberry Fields Forever. I love and adore this. I have called a stitch along Stitch Beetles with Marie, and I have absolutely loved, and I still love following the hashtag on Instagram because so many people have started stitching on beetles, either Blackbird designs or some other more modern pieces, and you know, I just love beetles and love following people's progress on this. So thank you so much to everybody who has decided to join me. And this was my progress when stitching on this in the first week of May, I think, and I have not picked it up since, so I'm gonna have to pick it up again. It is stitched on a 40 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. And my second Blackbird designs is the needle case. I've shown it in my last Flosstube as well, but I'm going to show it again just to make sure that nobody's missed it. This is the needle case from the Bells on Christmas Day. It is this. This is how it's going to look like, and I'm going to have a play around with the finish. Angie at the Tiny House Stitcher had such a lovely needlebook finish that she's shown in her last video, so I'm gonna have to sort of pause it and study it a bit more to see whether I can sort of attempt to recreate something like that. But Angie is the queen of finishing, so I'm sure I'm not going to be able to do quite as good work, but I shall try. And now I've got last 5 whips to show you. Phew! So speaking of Angie, I have been working this week, actually, or the past weekend, on our Seeking Refuge by Scarlet House. It's absolutely lovely, beautiful, amazing design, and I, as usual, have started stitching it from bottom right. And this is really heavy full coverage, guys. I mean, that's a lot of stitches right there. And I have been able to, so when I started, I sort of had just a little bit of this light green color, and I only had sort of up until here, I think. So I have filled it out, and I have continued with the black full coverage, and have put a couple more flowers in. So I'm glad that I am making some progress, but this is going to be this is going to take a lot of stitching. I'm stitching this in hand, so it's going probably a little bit faster than if I had it in the hoop. I again stopped mid-stitch, and I'm stitching it on 40 count Newcastle Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, stitching with 1 strand over 2. The next whip number 29, is the Kind Words Never Die. Luckily, it's a small, it's a tiny small. So this is where I am, and it is absolute priority for the next, I think next week or this week, I'm gonna try to finish it, because it's just the next half of the wreath and just the words, and it is going to be a finish. That would be very nice, wouldn't it? The next whip is the Little House Needleworks, home of a needleworker. One of them, one of the variations on this, and this is where I am. I need to put a couple more stitches in the house, which is, I quite like when there is a block of stitching, because when there's a lot of letters, then obviously there's a lot of, you know, finishing and ending of the thread. I like my back relatively tidy, so this is my back on this. So that's why when I sort of finish with the nice big areas in the whip, I start procrastinating with it, because I know it's going to be difficult to keep the back tidy, and it's a lot of changeovers and finishings and endings and whatever you. So I might start procrastinating with it a little bit, but also one of the whips that I pick up quite regularly, actually. Then I've got this whale in a light bulb. It is by Cute Patterns by Maria on Etsy. I bought this pattern as part of the Stitch for Ukraine appeal that we had in end of February and in sort of March month, and as you can see, it's missing something. It's missing all of the backstitch. Yeah, I haven't gone around to it, but also one of those that would be quite quick wins, and it's going to look absolutely gorgeous when the backstitch is on. It's going to look so fantastic. You can see it already. It's gonna change so much. So yeah, definitely excited to be finishing this one soon. And last whip, guys, number 32. Can't believe it. Whip number 32 is this Visit Isengard. I've got a love-hate relationship with this whip. I'm a total Lotter fan. Like, I love Lord of the Rings. I love this pattern. I'm stitching it. I started stitching this on 18 count. And what happened here, that I was stitching it in hand, and I do the Danish method to, you know, do the bottom leg, go back and do the top leg. And unbeknownst to me, this has created this sort of accumulation of thread on these lines, and when I turn it around, I can so see it. Oh my god, I can so see it exactly where the lines are. I didn't want to frog it, because this is just so many stitches in here, so many stitches, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 700 or something. So I started, you know, trying diagonal, whether that's going to help, or, you know, I don't know. But then I sort of lost patience with it, so I counted down, and I have started from the bottom. So now I can only pray that I've counted correctly. I've counted about 3 or 4 times. with the help of dots with a friction pen along, you know, so it wasn't like a blind sort of hoping for the best. But yeah, but I have started from the bottom, which is significantly better, you know, it is significantly better. But yeah, it's one of those WIPs that I will have to put a target on to sort of make myself work on it, because it's not something that I naturally tend to pick, which at this very moment tends to be cottage garden samplings or Teresa Kogut, or, you know, the samplers from, you know, the Blackbird designs or whatever you. So yes, and that is it. 32 WIPs. I don't know how that happened. I swear about, you know, five weeks ago I had about 4, maybe 3. This Flosstube is a very dangerous thing. Anyways, I think that's about it. I thank you ever so much for spending your time with me. I would very much appreciate if you let me know your opinion on the Alice in Wonderland and the Modern Folk Embroidery 2022 SAL, where I am not sure about the choice of fabric. Would you do it on a higher count? What do you think about how it looks? What do you think about the colors? Does it sort of speak to you? What would you do? Would you just restart? I have never restarted anything yet, and it feels like maybe a little bit of a waste of time of stitching, but at the same time, if I am not sure about it in the beginning of the project, then, you know, I'm gonna work on it for such a long time, so I might as well love it, right? Probably answering my own question here, but I would love to know your opinion. And I will also sort of put together the Jolly July plan, but I will try not to overdo it, and I will try to focus on bringing this WIP pile down a little bit. So on the you know, high on top of my list are definitely the Kind Words, that's the little one, close to finishing, Friends Make Life a Little Sweeter, very close to finishing, Christmas Village, Snowglobe Love, and, you know, I will try to sort of identify the bits that are close to finishing that I will be working on, and try to push to the end so that I can maybe vacate some of my slots and start something new as usual. Anyways, thank you. As I said, thank you so much for spending your time with me, for choosing to spend your time with me. I so much appreciate it. I love this community, and I am so grateful for the opportunity of being here. I will speak to you probably next weekend. Let's see. And should you want to hear me talk about different kinds of fabric, or if you have some beginner in your midst that would like to know the difference between Aida, even weave and linen, then I encourage you to visit the Caterpillar Cross Stitch channel, where I've just published my latest sort of guide to choosing fabric video in a newly released series of how to kit up your own project. Exciting things coming, guys. Wherever you are, I hope you have a fantastic week ahead of you, and remember to enjoy your projects one stitch at a time.